When I'm protein and fellow police, let me say thanks to you again. After uh, our break, I'm happy to be here again, Madam Protein and colleagues, um, to, to give you details as Senator of Montserrat County of my experiences during the short period of break given us by this valley. During my break period, I had the opportunity to visit uh, some of the districts, considering that we have 17 electoral districts. I had the opportunity to visit some of the districts in Montserrat County in making sure to make a follow-up on campaign promises made, progress made so far, where are we, what are the basic needs uh, that we need to focus on most, especially during the period of rainy season. Let me first of all thank colleagues for the passage of the national budget and making sure that least have an opportunity to implement some of those programs for us in our district. By the grace of God, we met and we were able to capture three major breaches that need to be done before the rainy season. If before the rainy season, if those projects are not implemented this particular rainy season, if those projects are not implemented by records, last year, by the grace of God, 50% of the project in district number 4, a community called Nabana, Cross River Estate, every year there will be a death case because citizen uses that one bridge to walk and come to town. And we have done 50% of that work. And with this legislative functions that will be given to list, it's a clear indication that it's possible that it can happen before the end of this rainy season or before the rainy season ends, that bridge can be completed. And I can say to you that the people of that community only depend on that particular road to survive. There is the one path going to that community. Another thing is that the district number 2, Medina community in district number 2, this is the only road as well going into Medina community. That road, that bridge needs to also be completed before the end of this rainy season or before the rainy season. Having said that, I want to say to you, police, you can see the action of the Liberian National Police and the Transport Authority with the regulations placed in Montserrat County. The question now lies, if these guys will not use motorcycles to survive, what can we replace it with? And that permanent solution is to provide technical education for them. And during my break, let me announce to you, by the grace of God, that the second technical college in Mount Bagley have started. That when that college is completed, also it will take up to 8,000 students. And by the grace of God, we have done, we have started, we have completed the first phase of that institution. I want to say thanks to my friends in the United States, members of the Jefferson Baptist Church in Portland, Oregon, who contributed $200,000 towards that particular project. And I can say to you, colleagues, the permanent solutions to our problem in Monserrato County, most especially our youthful population and Liberia at large, is to create the opportunity for youth training program. And this is why, as senator of this county, I embark on that. I want to say to you, please, let us continue to focus in that direction. As county of the most populated county in Monserrato County, and considering in Liberia, I'm the senator with the most number in Monserrato County, and the senator with the highest number in the Republic of Liberia. I want to say to you, police, thank you. Thank you for this. Thank you for this. Police, in conclusion, I'm saying, Monserrato County, we have now, by the grace of God, with the completion of the first technical college and the second one ongoing, we now have the capacity to take up to 15,000 of our youth to have the opportunity to free and technical education. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
See what?
Monserrato, Senator Abraham Dallas Delon.
Madam President Pro Tem, distinguished colleague, my colleague Senator Sir Joseph has spoken a lot about Monserrato County. On break, we have the opportunity to move around and listen to our people. Liberians in Monserrato and are across the country and outside Liberia are concerned and are focused on governance issues that will bring all everything together. Liberians are debating the first 100 days of this administration, what the Senate and the legislature can do to play its role in that process. The discussions people are concerned with as well has to do with the asset recovery team, what the Senate can do, the issue about tenure, what the Senate can do, the issue about creation of jobs. What can we do as a government? How can the budget impact, affect, and reach to our people? Those are the issues our people are concerned with. And if we don't play our role effectively, all of the blame will come on us. Even if there's traffic, people will ask what the senators doing. Because we have passed traffic law, and if we don't seek to be robust in oversight to ensure that the laws are implemented, the people put the blame squarely back on the legislature, particularly the Liberian Senate. So I just wanted to welcome us back. Monserrato County is challenged. One of our focus will be through the Ministry of Public Works, the bridge in clay ash land. Money have been placed in the budget, two different budgets under the last regime. That bridge is still not done. We fought to make sure that the Public Works Ministry under this administration, as soon as possible, to start to tackle that bridge. All over the county, it's the same issues, lack of electricity, which is a national problem, lack of safe drinking water, which is a national problem. So we all have similar issues across the country, and we can only achieve those issues if we work collectively and do our part of the work, hold the executive feet to the fire, so that what we pass in this budget, we can ensure that the executive we implement the budget, we hold the executive accountable so that our people know that while we are not here to build the roads, we are here to ensure that they get roads. While we are not here to build their clinic, their hospital ourselves, but we are here to ensure through the national budget. Again, I want to call on the media, the public, and all of us to open the national budget and see what's in there for the different sectors. Because the people can only open the budget to look for budget line after in the legislature budget and don't care for what we have passed for the other sectors. The president pro tempore have already laid some of the things we've done, the program-based budget and the focus we have. I just want to say thank you. I know that we're giving the health sector more than 90 million. We're giving education more than 102 million. We are giving the security sector over 100 million. Let us look in this budget, and so that when these people are not performing, sometimes it's not because of lack of budgetary support, it is because of impropriety, and the reason it comes back to us is because we are not holding them accountable. Thank you.
Round Boswell County.
Monserrato County Senator Abraham Darius DeLone stressing the need for robust oversight by senators, especially with the passage
Pro
of
Tem,
the
distinguished colleagues, and to the young senator from Nimba, you are welcome. We know that you also have a good time and enjoy yourself in your time with us. Welcome. Madam Pro Tem, distinguished colleagues, during the break, we have an opportunity to go to the county to say thank you to our people for electing us and sending us to Monrovia to begin the process of addressing issues affecting the lives. Distinguished colleagues, major concern coming out of Grand Bassa County has to do with the local leadership of our county, the agenda for our county, and how the legislature is going to manage the affairs of our country. Most of the citizens, I visited 3 districts, I was able to visit 3 districts, and one of them specifically with the representative in electoral district 5. We had a good, wonderful program. But my colleagues, the big question that I was asked, how are we going to impact the lives? And my issue was, well, we passed the budget. The budget had been passed at the time the president had not signed the budget, and we're looking forward to addressing some of the health issues, the education issues, the road issues, agriculture issues. As you know, most of us who come from rural counties, agriculture is an issue. And so on that front, we have to pause because nothing has really happened. The government is still in transition, and really nothing has happened over the last 5 months besides working on the budget. Also, Madam Pro Tem, while we were on the 2-week break, we had to stay behind to do some work on the budget. Distinguished colleagues, I can say to all of us here that we have an issue in Liberia. And working on the budget as chair of the Revenue Committee, I realized one thing, that we have a private sector that is not functioning. With the delay of the budget, the entire country almost shut down. We have all these big companies. Something is wrong somewhere with our model of economics. You can have a company that ships millions of dollars out, the money don't come back into our economy, They only bring what they need to service the companies in this country, and as a result, we have our banks crumbling. We have the market women complaining. We have all of us in this room experience it. Something is wrong. The entire Republic of Liberia depends on the national budget. For me, that was the lesson I learned. And so, my colleagues, I think you're going to see a different style of oversight. Especially, I have spoken to my chairman, the Revenue Committee is going to be very, very different. We have discovered that even SOEs don't even pay their portion of taxes that they collect as withholding agents. We have an issue, we have a problem. We must raise the envelope for Liberia if we have to adequately address some of the problems, social problems that we are facing. I know, Madam Pro Tem, I know I got 3 minutes, and I just want to pause because I could go on and on and on, but my colleagues have to speak. So I just want to say that we have an issue. Our oversight responsibility has to be taken seriously. We have to ensure that not only the budget be executed, but that revenue is collected, because our entire existence hangs on our budget. Thank you.
Senator,
Sound of
Milton Western affiliate of Grand Bassa County, stressing the need for a vibrant private sector, outlining the importance for the private sector to be revitalized so as to reduce the dependency on the national budget.
Brother colleagues,
This
thank you
is
for
Spring
this
TV.
opportunity.
We're live at the Liberian Senate.
First, from Sino, I think it's about the recurring theme of the deplorable condition of our road, primary road between our county and the seat of government, which is Monrovia. Thankfully, there's an investor who owns to the county or thereabout, who did some work between Buchanan and ITI that at least made that corridor a bit pliable. Well, our fear is that as the heavy rains set in, if Hollywood does not put equipment on the road, we might go back to status quo, and that's our biggest fear. And of course, the section between ITI and Grimsville is the most challenging. No work has been done there yet. We are hopeful that before we get into the deepest part of the rainy season, some work will be done. Because that's the greatest challenge that our people face. Issue of the road. It's about everything. It's about everything. It's about movement, about travel, about the conveyance of goods to and from the county, and our people are hindered by this in terms of the mode of transportation, because the road is bad, so you don't have good vehicles going there. Unlike other parts of the country where you have good cars flying the road, in our part of the country, you don't have good cars. It's very old vehicles break down. Sometimes spend 1 or 2 weeks on the road. And most of the time, our people even have to resort to using a motorcycle. Some even take the risk of riding these seaworthy vessels that go to the county, and we know the story of these safety. So our major challenge and something that we want to really emphasize that should be taken care of in this budget. And should be a piece of road run by us in our county. Of course, there's also the issue of the secondary road. Our county, for the most part, is inaccessible. Moving from one part of the county to the other, intra-county movement is hindered by the lack of road connectivity. We don't have roads, one especially from Greenway to most of the districts. So we sought to ride a motorbike. And of course, there are places that motorbikes can even go, where we have to walk for hours. And we hope that, that's why we are happy that we were magnanimous enough to look into the issue of having constituency development fund. And that is very good. It's pretty working. We should pat ourselves on the back of that, because that will engender development in terms of infrastructure, whether it's road, whether it's school, whether hospital, because you see, the national budget has to filter down to our people. The major complaint our people have had is that, look, you pass budget every year. We see budget, we have a budget, we have billions, but we see nothing happening in our communities. The budget does not filter down to us. The budget does not impact our lives. This time, thankfully, we decided to do something about that by providing funding in the budget appropriation, make appropriation in the budget to provide for infrastructure development in our constituencies. And that is valuable. I want to say thank you to all of us for that. Inside also there's the issue of the lack of teachers. There's shortage of teachers in our schools. That is hampering the delivery of quality education to our students. And something we have to do something about. And also speaks to our level of oversight. You know, this issue was brought here many times. I even did a letter. Some colleagues wrote about that, about teachers in our counties. And what it's done is that the teachers take the assignment by whatever means, or for whatever reason, to go to our part of the country, and with the intention not to stay there, not to remain there, but get the assignment, get on government bureau, get to the county, and then in a few months or less than a year or so, they get transferred to Monrovia or adjacent county. How that happens? Why should that be allowed? Because the minister, the former minister of education, many times, but that problem has still not been addressed. It's because of that we have a shortage of teachers. And what does the Ministry of Education do? They replace them with volunteer teachers. These people hold no commitment because they are not on payroll. They're not on payroll. Why are we going to school on that? They don't care. So if a teacher leaves, he leaves with a salary. That's what happens. That's the system that we're running. The teacher assigned to Sano County, for example, on Sano County payroll, because every county has a payroll. On Sano County payroll, he goes to Sano. He's assigned to Sano. He's paid for Sano County payroll. When he asks for a transfer, he gets a transfer to Monrovia or nearby or adjacent county, and comes. He leaves with his salary. He does not leave the salary in the county. He leaves with his salary to the new assignment, leaving that board. And who fills that board? To fill that board, they say they have to have budget. There will be a budget because then it will be a new position. It's not a replacement because the salary is gone. Why should that be? We spoke about that many times. And as a result of that, colleagues are put them, there's this serious shortage of teachers in my county. Something that we need to look into. The same too. Similarly, we have the same situation with the health sector. Nurses, the same thing. Nurses go to the county, you take the assignment, and the next you know, they are back in Monrovia or something, they go to school for other reasons, they get transferred. And I know most of us from counties far away have that kind of situation. we need to work together on this matter to ensure that we don't have people who want to work for government, get a government payroll, use it. This means the county to get on payroll just to get transferred back to Monrovia. We need to organize. Thank you.
Madam Pro Tem, distinguished colleagues, I think it's a good thing to have these reflections after our first break to know the next course of actions that we intend to take for the remaining part of our sessions. Due to the shortness of time, some of us will not go to our respective counties, but our people, we have remained in contact with them. Pro Tem colleagues, the difficult time for our people, we that are from the southeast, is in the rainy season. There are apprehensions now. What will happen again during this rainy season? We took note of the promise from the president that no car will get stuck in the mud, especially after the 100 days. So our people are looking forward to this promise for it to be realized. Through a bipartisan approach here, Pro Tem colleagues, we confirmed almost all of the nominees from the executive. We passed the national budget with ease. But during the budget debate, what I've mentioned here, I want to re-echo. A budget is a plan on what you want to do. It can only be realized if you take the necessary actions. We have to be intentional in improving our oversight. I'm happy that Senator Finley is very enthusiastic about the revenue collections. We hope that we generate the revenue that we need to match our planned expenditures. I was listening last night to reading one online paper where one politician predicted a massive budget shortfall this year. But if we work collectively together, we can avoid a shortfall. So I think we can only do that through major oversight over the revenue agency. And apart from the revenue, the expenditure side, we have to have robust oversight over those officials that we have confirmed in their positions. Our hospitals, we put some money into the hospitals to tender for our people. It is only our oversight will ensure that the monies that we appropriated will reach the intended beneficiaries. The last thing I want to talk about, Pro Tem, is our this plenary, our debate on national issues is sort of reducing. In the first period of our sitting, we saw a number of missteps from the executive branch of government that went unnoticed by this plenary. And this plenary, I know, especially in the folks that have been very vocal, remain silent, remain very silent in this 55th. critical national issues. We saw the issue of the tenure. People that were confirmed in tenure positions were being taken out of the jobs when the tenure had not expired. We sat here, and did nothing. These people on their own, they went and challenged the removal at the Supreme Court. We saw the executive branch of government openly disrespecting the decisions of the Supreme Court. Yet this plenary that I know kept silent. It should not be. Some senators tried to bring some of these matters on the floor, but they could not form the agenda pro tempore. And we know you, who you have been in the past. You have been very vocal as the opposition leader. Here, that's why we made you our pro tempore. And so we expect you, when national issues come, let them form, if they come from senators, let them form the agenda. And let us debate them. This is a theater for national debate. National debate is not the centers. This is the center of national debate issues. And so we want to thank you for the leadership, but we encourage that as we go to the next session, that critical national issues, when brought to the attention of the Senate, will form the agenda. Thank you very much.
Senator General
Distinguished colleagues, I'm happy to be back, and I guess the rest of us here share that view. Those of us from the Southeast will not talk about mentioning rules. And while it's true that the rules are not where we want to see them, the fact of the matter is that over the last 6 years, what we see taking place on the road have never happened. You've seen photos of improvement on the road. When last prior to this time you saw such? So there's much to be done, but we appreciate that the process has begun. We got in the budget money for procuring equipment. The last time we saw that in the budget was before the war. So we are getting there. Before this government came to power for the last 6 years, there was no money in the budget for those in the constituencies through their representatives that they will use to improve the situation in their districts. Over the last 6 years, we never had it. This budget got that, so that representatives and their people will be able to do a lot. I do agree the budget must work for the people. We must use the budget for hospitals, for schools, for roads. But I really do believe the major problem we have in this country is beyond the budget. When I stepped forward to support President Walker, it was because I believed, at the time, I still do believe, that he's in the best position to have the conversation with our international partners that will transform our country. He has been around for a while, he's of age, he's of experience, and I don't think he should fear any reason having this conversation. I said this with two things in mind. More than 60% of our country, 70% if you like, is covered with forests. And we have a huge portion of our population living in the forest area. People in the forest don't even have close to wear if you drive through the forest of our country. I mean, in this modern world, if our partners will come and say we should not use our forests to improve the living condition of our people, We need a conversation around compensation. There are countries that are giving $50 billion in aid for war, 60 billion, 20 billion. And you tell us you give us $3 million for us to keep our forest. That's unacceptable. We need to have conversation around that, and we need the leadership to develop the spine so that we can do it, or else we leave this country the same way we met it. There's nothing that's going to change. Our cooperation with our international colleagues cannot be the basis for them to muscle us into a subservient role. We got a lot to achieve. Since 20 years, the country hasn't moved anywhere. The people who are in the forest stay in the forest. And when we utilize our forest the way we want to use it, there will be electricity in the forest for the people to live good life. They will be able to work. They will have schools. They will have private hospitals. We can just be happy that we can sit around the table with our diplomatic colleagues. We must transform that advantage into benefit for our people, or else this country is not going anywhere. $3 million, $10 million. That one man out of this place in Ghana, in Nigeria, $10, $15 million, that they will use 1 year. This is a joke. We got to have a serious conversation. And when I decided to support President Ouattara, it was because I believe you'll be able to quickly have this kind of conversation. We got to industrialize. And we got to have that conversation. And I do not agree with those who say until we have cheap electricity. The NPD government was not amongst the best we had. But under the NPD government, we're producing plywood in Maryland, we're producing plywood in River D, we're producing plywood in Basso. We must be able to say those who are involved in the logging industry that you got to add value. This will boom our economy, will provide jobs for people. It can't just be about regular politics, or else the country is not going anywhere. And I think we need to stand up to it. Thank you very much.
Chairman Executive.
Our brother and police, I'm glad to be here with you. Over the time, the last 2 weeks, when I went to Cape Mount, I visited a town in Cape Mount called Karilauni. And I'm glad Senator Bani just addressed the issue that has to do with the forest. So, the people of Karilauni told me that they were restricted from using the forest, and it is embarrassing that livelihood and our people are suffering in that area. But I can assure you that all of us need to work towards addressing this forest issue, or else our people will not restrict the forest in the absence of benefit. We will not allow them to do that. Because they do not even have safe drinking water. They use the forest to live, dig their hole and diamond, and they cannot even do that right now. The next thing we realize that if you look at the mineral industry in our country, frankly, from where we went, the citizens are not benefiting from it directly. There are a lot of restrictions that is embarrassing the citizens, and you realize that people are suffering. The third thing I saw has to do with the health system in our country. I hope that since we have passed the budget, that the health ministry will begin to distribute drugs in the various clinics and hospitals all over the country. If they can do that faster, it will help us save our people's lives. Because we are in the rainy season, and maybe after 3 months, we will not be able to have access to other clinics in the rural area. So if they can start working on that, it will be very good for us, because the people are complaining on the health situation in the various areas in our country. We have some roads problems. There are a lot of bridges that are dilapidated, and you have lost some bridges right now. We hope that the public work will help to do some of those bridges in the country, more especially
roads that are connecting to the Ravoscourt area. I mean, there are a lot of bad bridges. So, Protein, we have all our colleagues want to say something, but the condition will be the same all over the country. We need to improve our health care, the educational system of our country, and we need to be very robust in negotiating our resources with partners that count. It's very key and serious. If all of us can focus on negotiating rightly, I think it will help us to move forward. Thank you.
Senator Daba M. Babla.
Madam Protein, distinguished colleagues, I'm glad to be back again after a very short break. And I want to again use this podium to welcome our colleague, one of our rescue senators, President of Senator Nyanti Twine. Let me thank the leadership of the Senate for the good work at focusing the national budget to where the needs are. When we came on January 15, all of our stories were similar, and the main focus of challenge were in the education, health, and roads. Let me say that while visiting Cape Mount, our people were very happy that this time around the budget has looked at some of these important areas, especially when you talk about roads, because roads impact health, it impacts education, it impacts just everything that has to do with human development. The concern now is implementation. And I believe that the very leadership of this Senate that worked to identify those issues and made the determination within the 2024 budget will also work collectively to ensure that those things are achieved. Challenges all across Liberia are the same. As we endeavor to solve these challenges, I'd like to tell you that Great Cape Mount County, a county that is known to be hugely traditional, is going under a serious issue of drug abuse. During the last about 2 weeks or less, we have lost over 6 young Liberians, including a woman, to the use of the notorious kush. This is sad, and I think the issue of war against drugs should be taken seriously and it should be everybody's business. I'd like to also bring to your attention that before we went on break, I think you all heard about the protest in King George that also accounted for about 3 young lives. The issues outlined in the petition document are still left unresolved. We are still faced with that challenge. The 2 dead bodies are still in the mortuary and will continuously remain under pressure by our constituents to ensure that those issues are resolved. We all know that as long as we don't resolve those issues, the security of that side of the country is fragile. So we need to work in a timely fashion to bring that to closure. And while we were talking about the King George issue, Mando Plantation also began a protest with similar requests. My dear chairpersons of concessions, we need to tighten our belts. Otherwise, we'll continue to have this stand-up, which is not to the benefit of this country, neither the benefit of the communities that host the concession. Having said that, all is not lost. I'd like to, on behalf of the people of Grand Cape County, to welcome Madam Potem and the Honorable House of Senate to the surfing city of Robertsport, Grand Cape County, where an international surfing competition will be starting on the 23rd of May. Please come to Grand Cape County and support this effort. It is the beginning and an opportunity to expose the huge potential of that city and the county to more revenue generation, especially as Senator Finley talked about revenue. We need to diversify our revenue. And Cape Town has the potential of making sufficient money from tourism. This event will have 60 competitors, of which 10 Liberian surfers. And I'd like to say, Madam President, that there will be 4 women competing in this competition. So come out and support Robertsport, expose Robertsport to international investment in tourism. Thank you very much.
Will be the Palm County Senator Prince Kamumoy.
Thank you, Madam Pro Tem, distinguished colleagues. I want to begin by thanking members of the Committee on Ways, Means, Finance, and the Budget for putting in so much time in this long special sitting to ensure that the national budget was deliberated upon and passed by this August body. I also want to thank all members of the Senate for your vote for the passage of the budget. As we have passed the budget, I will ask that our work be more rigorous in terms of our oversight during the execution process. Madam Pro Tem, distinguished colleague, if you were opportune to sit at the expenditure hearing of the budget, you will be constrained as to how previous budget was executed. Most of the institutions that came to defend their budget, when they were asked about the on-time place in the draft budget, some of them said they didn't receive a dime, although the outcome showed that certain money went to that entity. So it has to do with oversight, and we have made commitment to this plenary that on our watch, as chairperson and members of the Committee on the Ways, Means, and Finance will ensure that those monies that have been appropriated to institutions be executed appropriately. There should be no preferential execution of the budget, where a clinic in Riwaji or a hospital will be deprived just to pay to an institution in Monrovia because of some other person's interest. We're going to provide our oversight and put the folks at the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning feet to the fire to doing the right thing. Madam Pro Tem, distinguished senators, if you look at the composition of this current budget that we have passed, it should be one of the best. As it stands, this is my first time since 12 years in the House of Representatives and the Senate to see the Liberian National Police being provided 3 million additional as a result of the legislature taking a decision. This is the first time to even see us addressing the issue of volunteer teachers through the Ministry of Education. Additional 4 million, as the Pro Tem elaborated this morning. This is my first time to see the National Disasters Agency being considered by this legislature in an addition of $2 million just to address disasters activities around the country. These are steps in the right direction that will alleviate some of the pressure on us as senators. Because when disasters occur in some of the counties or some of the environment around here, everyone looks up to us for immediate redress. So it will provide our oversight for those institutions that have been given these different appropriations to receive those money. We'll ask them, you received this, and there was a disaster here, what did you do? And I think that would be the best question that we can ask. But not for us to say we didn't put the money there, but we didn't get a dime. Then it comes back to our oversight responsibility, into question. I want to say thank you, Madam Pro Tem. We could not have won the prize for being one of the committees that worked during this special sitting if I didn't get the support of this plenary and my able veteran on the Committee on Ways and Means. I want to say hats off to all of us, and our work has just started to make sure that the quality reports are brought here by partners and the execution report are all reviewed so that we know exactly what our money is doing at the different county level. Thank you very much.
Madam Pro Tem, distinguished colleague, let me take this time to welcome. Let me take this time to welcome our brother and friend, Senator John D. Torn, to the House of Senate. You are all heartily welcome, my dear brother. Madam Pro Tem, the 2 weeks of break given out to us, our work began at the very next day. I received a call from the president, the vice president of the Republic of Liberia, asking us based on the committee work that I do, chair youth and sport, that we should be able to join him to the youth center in Bentor, sorry. We got up Bentor in the morning alongside with Senator Sir Joseph, alongside with Senator Darrell DeLong, and we were able to tour the facility at Bentor, and the vice president wanted to speak to the citizens and that of the people at Bentor, making them to understand the issue of youth development that is so key to the president's agenda, that he wants us to take immediate responsibility in making sure that that facility since 1976 has been established up to now. You go there, you see that the whole place has turned into a diamond mine and a gold center right in Muscle County. And the vice president was able to speak with the senators and making them to understand that immediately we should have an actual committee and set up a team to carry security that immediately see how we start working. After that, I want to work along with the Ministry of Youth and Sport, as we all aware that we had a National County Sport League. And congratulations to, I won't call you congratulations to our 2 senators for signing, how you call it, Liberian County for winning the male category, and that of the Riverside County for taking the female category. Congratulations to you people. It was not an easy one, but I know it was well deserved. After concluding with the county meet, I also joined my colleague, Senators Prince Moy, who asked me and him and the rest of the caucus members to set up a team. There were 2 weeks that we had. I used 1 week to do my community work, and the other week I was to join the senator in organizing a district tour that we had to talk to all of our young students that started their work yesterday. We started from Former District and we went all the way up to Toba Bay District, in meeting all of our high school students and encouraging them to be focused and to be able to take their examination properly. And also, we had an opportunity to have our induction ceremony with our our local government. On the 24th, as we are aware that we had our anniversary, one birth was given to us on the 14th of May, 1964. And on that senior unification day, we had to induct our local government officials into office, and we'll have a unifying jamboree, calling all chiefs and elders together, making them to understand that gone are those days that we will have too many promotion and division in our county. Gone are those days that we have to fight one another, and we brought those chiefs together, and we made them understand that it's our time that we work together. It's our time that we peace in our county to bring more development. So hands up to the chair of the caucus, Senator Wayne, who also toured along with us and had a colorful ceremony. Now to the issue of our county. As we are aware of recent disaster management team, we've been reaching out to them. But the project this way, reach to attention. They have reached to all our attention that live in the Leeward area. The storm issues of recent have caused a lot of problems to our people in the various villages. Everywhere we pass of recent, where we tour, everywhere our people are homeless because of the storm that have been going in various counties. So we sat with them, we want to make some donations to them, and we pleaded with them, make it understand that we'll talk to the disaster management team to see how better can be our help to join us. I also want to bring to the attention of my community, I'll be a co-chair autonomous. But next week, by the grace of God, those our people from Bujumbura camp will be receiving the first batch from with the first batch from El Chico RC by next Tuesday. We are starting to construct a mini center for them in Bon County and Tapeta. Will be receiving it on Tuesday and they'll be coming back home. Also, to make reference to our deployment road condition, the issue of Sanley Road is very key to us, and I think if we don't do anything before the close of the race, Sanley Road will be closed. So we try to work with the public works minister to see how big they be a help to us. Thank you ever so much.
We are not able to get intake and then you.
Lima County, Senator Nya D. Pointier.
The measure coming.
We're talking about challenges in our different counties. Very useful. If you want to say something, then you're welcome to the podium.
That's a tradition here. We can't speak the first time because follow that tradition. But Chairman on last call. Why you keep saying? Madam Pro Tem and fellow colleagues, I think I'm the longest serving senator on break for the last 4 years. I live my life in Nimba. And the challenges there are not in isolation to many of the challenges that were listed here. I think a couple of days ago you heard about the Meta Steel issue. I think the Ministry of Internal Affairs and relevant authorities, have put a little pause on that issue and they are very well on top of it. Speaking my capacity as one of the lawmakers from the county, I think for now we are satisfied with the level of which that issue has been handled. And that boils down also to the general concession issues that we are having in the country. And I think one of the senators mentioned about, having a robust oversight over concession. That's something that I'm very much committed to. And within the next couple of weeks, we'll be consulting our caucus members definitely when the senator returns from his break, which I know he's doing enormously well in the country right now. We'll be putting forward a lot of information from the county, and we want to be very grateful, for the allotment for the counties and the district. We are very glad about that because the challenges our people face, they are just enormous. We who run campaign on promises, I think many of those promises will come to fruition, especially with the allotment that we are seeing in the budget at the level of the county and at the level of the district. And let me use this time, lastly, while I'm here, I know my credential is dwarfed amongst the many credentials here. I just want to say, Madam Pro Tem, I cut across a lot, and I will be willing within the next couple of days with the permission to sit with you to see how best my expertise can be used across the different committees. Across the different committees that will be able to contribute. I come with even though there are huge ones ahead of me here, but I come with what we experienced, in governance for the last 17, 18 years. Be it youth exposed, be it, social security.
Social security.
And with a background in public policy and economic management, I also one of the frameworks of the economic pillar during the PRS process. So I come with a lot of understanding of our governance process. So I'm pretty much open to Benevolence to serve the Senate in any capacity. And as a specialized policy analyst also, I do cut across a lot. Thank you.
That was Nyantuan of Lima County.
So let me speak. I
Madam Pro Tem is to police. Oh, the spirit police. My police from the southeast, they have spoken about the rule. But Madam Pro Tem, for the past 6 years, today I'm proud to tell my colleagues in the Senate and now in the entire Republic of Liberia. For the past 6 years, for a Grand Guinean to drive from Grand Guinea to Monrovia for less than 7 hours. For me, when I heard that one or two persons had driven from Grand Guinea to Monrovia, what I did, a friend of mine, when I grew up together, just for me to believe what he was telling me. I told him, I said, so arrested Nemo. He said, yes. I said, come to Monrovia. I said, you're trustful. In less than 7 hours. As we speak, the snow, you don't need visa to visit Grand Guinea County. Now, I'm the serious end of the county, and I Pro Tem is very good. It's not a serious note. As we speak, from Grand Guinea to Monrovia, at least for the past time, pregnant women, students, and other people have been suffering on that road. Today, a Grand Guinea can come from Grand Guinea to come to Ganta, to Tabata, to buy their goods and go by the same day.
same day.
Yes. Pro Tem is distinguished. For the past 6 years, you can go and find out for yourself the health sector in Grand Guinea County. The health sector in Grand Guinea County. If you went to the hospital those days, be able to buy your own drugs, be able to even carry your own sheet for your prescription to be written on that sheet. But as you speak, in 6 years, as we speak today, the hospital in Grand Guinea, I receive some drugs. You can go and find out yourself. The truth will be said. The truth will be said. So, we'll see what's the yours that will tell you.
Go ahead, Chairman.
The truth will be heard.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm speaking for the people of Nigeria, I'm not speaking for any other country.
Amen.
If you think there's not true,
That's true.
go and check your former Minister of Health, get a compare the budget, the one that we've been passing, how long and how much they are giving to people of Nigeria country with the health sector. And now, to speak to you, to tell you that today, before even the passage of the budget, the lecture that they met on the phone, the people of Nigeria are getting 50% of what they due us. The Supreme Police, our students in Grand Village County, they are getting prepared for WAS. And it started on Wednesday. Today, we're going to show you in the next 3-4 years, 5 years, Grand Village will put a lot of medical doctors. After the wars, you go to the university, that's why I said after 5-6 years. Yes. So the straight was when they see our sector,
So please don't forget about Putu Manti.
So the Supreme Police, our role in Nigeria is paramount for our people. So when the government comes to place and our people are benefiting from the rule, it should be said to the public. My people suffer a lot, including myself as a senator. Even when I was serving as a representative, I went through that problem. Today, if my people enjoy the rule condition, let it be said to the public. So when we are telling you, it's not about joining this political party, leaving the other political party. Nigeria is one. Nigeria is one, and all of us working for one government. We travel in other countries. We are seeing other countries. We are seeing other countries, how development is paramount to those countries. So when Liberia is doing the same, it should be said. So, distinguished with the police, Mr. Chairman, on Ways, Means and Finance, I will say thank you for helping the national police through the national budget. For the past years, police in counties, where on the song you see a police officer will go arrest a criminal with motorbike. Today, at least, police budget will increase to 3 million. Police budget will increase to 3 million. With 95 vehicles. So I believe that people of Grand Village County will be part of the money, and our people tomorrow, day after tomorrow, police officer will not get on motorbike to go and arrest a criminal on motorbike. Thank you very much. Let's put a roll for it. Of course.
That part of the story
Distinguished senators, my senior senator from Nigeria has spoken. Is there anything else I can say? I want to take this time to thank my colleagues. I've been in this office now for about 3 months. I'm still crawling. I need some more time before I can get up to walk. I don't know much about the House of Senate yet. But for what we have already accomplished, I think we have done well. So I take my hats off and I say thank you to all of us for the work that has been done. I'm still holding my breath. And why am I holding my breath? Because budgets upon budgets have been passed on paper in this house and have not been implemented. So I'm not going to stand here to praise this budget until I see the money coming out of the counties. When I see the money is coming out and I see that our people are living better life, I will stand back on this podium to say thank you to all of us. I did not go to Grand Chile. From here to Grand Chile is very far, and I used part of my time to work with the Ministry of Labor. We took 2 days off and went to Grand Bassa County to discuss the child labor bill. And hopefully in the next week or so, that bill will be coming here for debate. But last week, I went to Cape Mount and bombing. I've been hearing about Cape Mount, I've been hearing about bombing, so I drove. And I went to all the way Jenemana, way behind Jenemana. And I drove there to see the conditions of the lives of our people there. And I drove there, and the lives they live is not different from the lives that we live in Grand Chile County. People are exploiting that community, and there's no benefit to the people. So the discussion